Ilali amami inshallah. Ilali amami inshallah. Àwa tá ń tẹ̀lé tí òjíṣẹ́ ńlá. Iwájú làwa ò máa lọ, a ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o. Sunnah and self-esteem àrà ọ̀tọ̀. Ètò rọra ẹni lágbára ìgbéra ẹni níyì ti wà lórí afẹ́fẹ́ báyìí o. Lórí iléeṣẹ́ wa Naija 101.1 FM láti aago 6 títí di aago 8 àṣálẹ́ láti ṣe olùgbọ̀wọ́ ètò yìí. Ẹ kàn sí wa lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wa 077-690-51172 077-690-51172. Sunnah program Fridays on Naija 101.1 FM. For sponsorship, please contact us on 077-690-51172. 077-690-51172. You can send us an email, ss.esteem@gmail.com. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram and YouTube at Sunnah and Self-Esteem. Ilali amami inshallah. Ilali amami inshallah. Àwa tá ń tẹ̀lé tí òjíṣẹ́ ńlá. Iwájú làwa ò máa lọ, a ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o. Iwájú lèmi ò máa lọ, ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o. Iwájú lẹ́yìn ò máa lọ, ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o.
La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanallah al-azim. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanallah al-azim. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanallah al-azim. Alhamdulillah amudan, alhamdulillah kathiran, alhamdulillah tayyiban, alhamdulillah mubarakan fi. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Allah ya Rahman, the everlasting God. Al-Mulk, Al-Qudus, As-Salam, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir, Jalla Jalaluhu. All praise and adoration to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe, the forever living God, the omnipotent God, the benevolent God, the forever living, the Lord of the world, the Lord of lords, the King of kings, the forever living, Jalla Jalaluhu. We testify that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one. There's none worthy of his praise or worship. We testify that our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam is a messenger of Allah and the last prophet sent to mankind. We ask for multiple blessings upon our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, his family, friends, and the Ummah. We are sinners yet Ghafur. We ask for your forgiveness. Forgive our sins and have mercy on us. Bijahi ma sha'allahu la quwwata illa billah. Our beloved listeners, our beloved watchers, our fans, our brothers and sisters, our friends all over the world. Whether you are listening on radio, you are watching live on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, I would like to welcome you on today's program with the best of greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah for another beautiful Friday. Alhamdulillah for Allah's mercy upon us. Alhamdulillah for everything. We are grateful. We will forever be grateful. We will continue to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. Walillahi alhamdu, it's another Friday, and we are live on Naija 101.1 FM. If today is the first time joining us, Sunnah and Self-Esteem is live on air now, and today we will be talking about men and society. My name is Nafeesa Ayeola or Dofi. Hope you had a beautiful week. Hope it was a fulfilling week, whether you are a man or you are a woman. Today's program is dedicated to our men, our fathers, our grandfathers, uncles, brothers, friends all over the world, and also to the husbands out there. Ta ni ó bá àánú Ọlọ́run pàdé? Àmín. Èmi á bá àánú Ọlọ́run pàdé. Àmín. Gbogbo wa la ó bá àánú Ọlọ́run pàdé. Àmín. Àwa á bá àánú Ọlọ́run pàdé. Àmín. Tó bá ṣe pa ikú láyé o. Ababa Muhammadu, Ababa Muhammada, ọ̀kẹ́ mẹ́fà lẹ́gbàájì, àwa ò bá kàn láyé mọ́. Mo fi yẹn kí Alhaji wa Sodiq tí wọ́n máa wà pẹ̀lú wa ní ìlú London ní àìpẹ́ láti wá fi orin àlùbáríkà fi dára wa lára yá. Mo fi àsìkò yìí kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yín Sunnah and Self-Esteem. Gbogbo ẹni tí ó ń lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́, gbogbo ẹni tí ó ń lọ sí ilé, ẹni tó wà lórí ilé ìtajà, gbogbo ẹni tí ó ń wá bó ṣe dá káàkiri, ayare lọ́ọ̀dẹ ọkọ, gbogbo ẹni tó wà ní orí ìdààmú, àbí gbogbo ẹni tí ó wà nínú ìbànújẹ́, gbogbo ẹni tó wà ní ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹni tó ní àìlera, ẹni tó wà ní ilé ìwòsàn. A kí gbogbo wa ní kí ọlá ìkí àlùbáríkà tó lọ́lá jùlọ wípé assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Àánú Ọlọ́run, ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run kó máa bá gbogbo wa pátápátá. Gbogbo ẹni tí ó ní àìlera, gbogbo ẹni tó ní àárẹ̀ ọkàn, gbogbo ẹni tó wà lórí ìdààmú kan àbí ìkejì, kí sàlámù Ọlọ́run kí ó wọ sí gbogbo oríkèéríkèé ara wa àti ọkàn wa, kí Ọlọ́run túbọ̀ fi wá ní ara balẹ̀ dáadáa, k'Ọlọ́run fi àlàáfíà sí gbogbo oríkèéríkèé ara wa, kí Ọlọ́run kó dẹ̀ fi wá lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Gbogbo ohun tí a bá ń lé, tí à ń sáré lé, k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe fún gbogbo wa pátápátá wọlá kún fàyàkún. Àmín. Mo kí yín káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí sórí ètò yín Sunnah and Self-Esteem tí a ti máa ń dára wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Jímọ̀. Èmi ọmọ yín, àbúrò yín, olólùfẹ́ yín, Nafeesa Ayeola, aya ọ̀dọ̀fin ni mo dé bí a ṣe máa ń dé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ lórí ètò yín tí a máa ti ń dára wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Lénìí, a fẹ́ bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa nǹkan tí a kì í sábà máa gbọ́ lórí ètò wa. Àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan kan, a máa bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwa ọkùnrin àti àwùjọ wa. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà a máa ń gbọ́ ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nípa obìnrin àti àwùjọ. Gbogbo wa la mọ iṣẹ́ tí ọkùnrin ń gbé ṣe ní àwùjọ. Gbogbo wa la dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé obìnrin náà ní nǹkan ribiribi tí wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ gbé ṣe or tí wọ́n ń gbé ṣe ní àwùjọ. Àwùjọ yìí kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ilé tí a bá jẹ́ ìyàwó àbí tí a bá jẹ́ ọkọ. Ibi tí àwùjọ ti kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ rèé kó tó di wípé a lọ sí ìta. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà a kì í sọ nípa ọkùnrin àti àwùjọ. Tí a bá rò nípa ọkùnrin, Ọlọ́run fi ọkùnrin ó fi ṣe olórí obìnrin. Ar-rijalu qawwamu 'ala an-nisa ni Ọlọ́run sọ. Nítorí wípé bí Ọlọ́run ṣe ṣẹ̀dá, ìṣẹ̀dá tí Ọlọ́run máa kọ́kọ́ ṣẹ̀dá ọkùnrin ni, ìyẹn ni Ànábì wa Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, kó tó di wípé Ọlọ́run wá ṣẹ̀dá obìnrin láti fi ṣe kejì ọkùnrin. Ìlú tí a wà yìí, tí ilé ìyàwó tí a wà ní ìlú òyìnbó, a mọ̀ wípé ìlú obìnrin ni. Nǹkan ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin wa. Ó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà a máa ń sábà gbọ́ nípa àìdá tí ọkùnrin máa ń sábà ṣe. Ẹlẹ́ran ara ni àwọn ọkùnrin yìí, ẹlẹ́ran ara ni àwọn ọkọ wa, ẹlẹ́ran ara ni àwọn bàbá wa, ẹlẹ́ran ara ni àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n wa ní ọkùnrin àbí àwọn uncle wa ní ọkùnrin àbí àwọn grandfather wa. Tí a bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àṣìṣe tí wọ́n ń ṣe, kí ló máa ń sábà fà á tí àwọn kìíní yìí máa ṣe ń wáyé? Lénìí, a ní àlejò pàtàkì tí orúkọ wọn jẹ́ brother Nasirdeen Carew aka Lookman, tí wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọkùnrin àti àwùjọ tí a wà. Ọkùnrin àti àwùjọ tí a wà yìí, bí àwùjọ ṣe ń expecting kí ọkùnrin máa ṣe àwọn nǹkan kan, bẹ́ẹ̀ lọkùnrin náà máa gbìyànjú láti máa ṣe bí ọkùnrin nílé, lọ́dọ̀ ìyàwó àti ọmọ, níta, níbi iṣẹ́, láàrin àwùjọ, lọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ àbí ibikíbi tí wọ́n bá wà. Àwọn nǹkan wo ni ó jẹ́ nǹkan ribiribi tí ọkùnrin gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbé ṣe? Àwọn nǹkan wo ló jẹ́ ohun tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó tí ọkùnrin ń rí, tí wọ́n ń face, tí à ń pè ní challenges? Àwọn nǹkan wo ni àwọn ọkùnrin ti ṣe tí ó ti bu wọ́n lọ́wọ́? Àti pàápàá, kí ni àwọn ọkùnrin wa lè ṣe láti wá ìrànlọ́wọ́, láti tún lè dúró ṣinṣin lórí ẹsẹ̀ méjèèjì? Nítorí tí a bá rò lọ, tí a bá rò bọ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn ọkùnrin ní ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí. Bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé àwa obìnrin, bí a ṣe máa ń gbọ́ wípé oríṣiríṣi àǹfààní wà fún àwa tá a jẹ́ obìnrin. Àwọn ọkùnrin lè jẹ́ ẹni tí wọ́n ní agbára, agbára pé kéèyàn ní agbára ju obìnrin lọ. Àti wípé àwa ọkùnrin náà ló tún máa ń pèsè fún obìnrin tí a bá ní wọn ní aya, tí a bá ní wọn ní bàbá, àwọn náà ni wọ́n ti máa, tá a bá ní wọn ní ọkọ, àwọn náà máa pèsè fún obìnrin. Tá a bá sì ní wọn ní bàbá, àwọn náà máa pèsè fún ilé, náà máa pèsè fún oko. Èmi kọ́ ni mo máa fún wa ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí. Brọ́dà wa tí wọ́n fẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, iṣẹ́ tí àwọn yàn láàyò ni láti máa counsel, láti máa bá àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ kí a tún lè rí ọ̀nà àbáyọ sí gbogbo nǹkan tí kò bá máa ṣe wá láàgọ́ ara àbí ní ọkàn. K'Ọlọ́run láàánú jùlọ kó gba eléyìí tí a bá fẹ́ sọ lénìí. Men and society. The first being created by God is a man. Prophet Adam alayhi salam was the first being created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Men and society. Today we'll be talking about our men's achievements, the challenges they face, their failures, solution, and finding balance. There is a lot expected of men in the home, at workplace, and in the society. However, men are humans. They have their challenges. They have things they face. They have their pitfalls. Today, we are dedicating this program to our men. It's something we don't usually talk about. But if you go to mental homes in the UK, number of our African men in this home are doubling. What is happening? There's a lot of help. There's a lot of resources out there for women as well as men. But for one reason or the other, the support is not getting to the right people, or the right people are not actually exploring the opportunities out there. Today's program, our guest speaker will be educating us on this, men and society. And I would like to welcome our guest speaker today, the name of Brother Nasirdeen, Carew, aka Jack Lookman, to educate us on this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on today's program. We really appreciate it after a long time. And today, like the topic says, men and society. I never knew there's a relationship with men and society. I know there are a lot of expectations from men. And I believe I'm not a man. As a man, I believe there are a lot of challenges out there, which you will be educating us on today. However, before I let you continue your program, I hope you can mix with Yoruba and English as you like. And tí a bá ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ lóyìnbó sí kò lè dàbí kí a tún jọ sọ ní Yorùbá, ẹ fún wa ní àǹfààní láti ṣàlàyé fún wa ní Yorùbá dáadáa. A kì í sábà sọ nípa ọkùnrin. Àwọn ní àwọn nǹkan tó fà á. Ṣé ọkùnrin náà ló ní gbogbo agbára ni àbí nǹkan kan ò tiẹ̀ kì í bá ọkùnrin rárá? Wọ́n fún yín láyè láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Bismillah.
Okay, thank you very much, Adupe Goni. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
To all the Muslim faithfuls, Jumu'ah Mubarak. And I also greet the non-Muslim listeners with peace. May peace be unto you as well. Thank you very much to one and all for joining us. Motor Gafara Dear, I'm going to do a bit of Yoruba speaking, but it's going to be mostly in English so that I can drive my point home. But I'll do my best to inject a bit of Yoruba into it, inshallah. Now, like Alaja and Nafeesa said, today's topic is about men and society. Like you already know, my name is Lookman, and I want to start with a disclaimer. These thoughts I'm expressing are personal opinions. They are not expert opinions. But as a human being, I've seen a bit of life, I've seen a bit of experience. So I'm going to share all those thoughts based on those experiences. Now, men have different roles.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Yeah. Do you possibly have an Instagram account?
No. I do, but it's not active.
No problem, so you can carry on. Because we have some people watching on Instagram.
Okay. So men have different roles. Some of them father, son, brother, husband, widower, divorcee, bachelor, mentor, in-law, breadwinner, role model, etc. Now he has different relationships as well. With his wife, he's the husband. He has relationships with his children, relatives, colleagues, community, friends, spiritual companions, etc. For cultural and maybe spiritual reasons, there are very high expectations of the male. In some cases, he's pushed beyond his limits, which could end up being very counterproductive. It could become unwell. It could misbehave. It could become suicidal. It could become promiscuous, etc. Now, some questions come to mind. Are we getting the most out of our males? Could more be got out of them? Could this be done effectively with less pain? Are there any best practices that we can follow? Now, we shall begin with some challenges that men face as well, and then explore some suggestions and some positivity towards the end. Now, financial pressures affect a lot of homes. This could sometimes break the homes, irrespective of love or spirituality. Old age is a possible reality. I know not everybody will be old, but for most of us, we pray to be old. So it's a reality which we sometimes neglect. Inconsiderate multiplication of the family unit could eventually be a challenge. Go and sleep, that could be a challenge, especially if you cannot take care of them. Tẹ́bà ní owó àti àrísìkí tẹ́ máa fi tọ́ ọmọ tẹ́kàn bímọ jọ. At the end of the day, àwọn ọmọ yẹn máa jẹ́ they're going to become problems to you eventually and to society. Now, the change in the financial landscape where the wife could be the breadwinner. Ìgbà tábà ń grow up, ọkùnrin ni breadwinner. On a lighter note, ọkùnrin á lọ wá owó wá. Ìyàwó àṣẹjẹ àṣegbogbo ẹ ọkùnrin àjòkó bí ọba ìyá Síkírà tí kò mí ìṣọwọ́ wá o ìyá Síkírà kúlẹ̀ àgbọn. But now the landscape has changed. In some cases obìnrin ló máa jẹ́ breadwinner tó jẹ́ pé ọkùnrin ò ní níṣẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé obìnrin ló máa bọ́ ọkùnrin, and from that insult and all those things ló máa wọlé. Now there are also cultural pressures with high expectations of the man. There is peer pressure, men wanting to be like their peers by all means. Wọ́n fẹ́ àwọn náà fẹ́ lówó bí ẹgbẹ́ wọn, àwọn náà fẹ́ lọ́lá, wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe gbá, wọ́n fẹ́ ṣàwo. There is also family pressure, both with the immediate family and the extended family. There is work pressure with great demands on your time and health. In some cases, that work even takes your time from your family time, and also on your health. There is health pressure as well. Ibi táwa ti fagburu lọ fagburu bọ̀, táwa ti forí adé fagburu àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. At the end of the day, only affect health. So, and this is usually the result of one or more of the various things I've mentioned above. Now, another stressor in most men is the male ego. About Kurin, excuse me, I think society has made us to feel big or with swell-headed, etc. So we have a very big ego. So sometimes, even when we need help, we don't seek help because of that ego until maybe it's too late. Again, and at that point, it's either you're dying or you become very unwell or things like that. Now, drugs, alcohol, extramarital activities, moral decadence could also result from the above. Long-term sickness could be another challenge. If you are a man, you are eating all the bokoto and everything, and you become overweight or you become unhealthy, and you become long-term sick. Not because you are going to be considered a liability. It's either kò jáde lọ kó lọ wá fọ́ọ̀nì ẹ̀ níta kó dẹ̀ máa wá parọ́ nínú ilé àbí kó máa búyàn àbí kó máa insult èèyàn. So at that point, you may be very helpless. So, but sickness is a reality. Now, the male has different peculiar characteristics. If well managed, this could cause immense benefit, not only to the family unit and the man, but also to community and the wider public. Now, some of the qualities are maybe leadership, rationality, income generation, strategist, enterprising, role model, etc. On the flip side, most things in life, méjì ló ní, imú wa méjì, ojú méjì, ọkùnrin, obìnrin, etc., etc. So on the flip side, it could become aggressive, fraudulent, uncaring, promiscuous, etc. Now let's explore some positivity. Spirituality could guide and empower the male. Spirituality, you are reflecting on life, you are doing your prayers, etc., etc. That could have a positive impact. Having multiple income streams could ease financial pressures. Upskilling, that means adding to your skill base. It could enhance financial capabilities as well as productivity. Preparing for the gray years. Like I said, but how many people are actually preparing for the old age? Maria Woko, party, where spray, shikarini, etc. But at the end of the day, they're not prepared for their old age. Why can't enjoy that's maybe 10 minutes of fame or whatever. But abo, tobati dagbalagba, tobati darubo, one pension or anything. So at that point, when they take on my torowo, lato do our I become a fine barakakiri. So you have to prepare for the gray years. That is Ojo Arubo, Ojo Agbalagba. You have to prepare for those years. And the sooner you prepare for them, the better. And it will be beneficial for all, both for yourself, your family, and other stakeholders. Even the community, you will become a nuisance to the community. So some things to consider are pensions, investments, health, companionship, spirituality, death. Yes, it may be not a swear word, but some people, Tabatin sorrow, it's not my portion, or no one is taking cool. But the reality is that it could a day, anytime, and to anybody, and at whatever age. And Sababi, when the COVID anybody leku, irrespective of your prime minister, or no, the COVID, or no, your tioku. So it can happen to anybody. So you have to prepare for all these things, even including death. And in terms of death, on the one hand, you're thinking about this life, but on the other hand, you're also thinking of the hereafter. You want to go into a much better place. You want, fellowship Aljanna Firdaus, that is the target. But at the end of the day, tí ẹ bá fẹ́ jẹ ọbẹ̀, tí ẹ bá fẹ́ jẹun, ẹ fẹ́ lábẹ̀, ẹ máa kọ́kọ́ prepare fún, ẹ máa kọ́kọ́ kówó jọ, ẹ lọ ra nǹkan ní ọjà, ẹ ra oúnjẹ nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀, wá sí oúnjẹ yẹn, wá add oríṣiríṣi, tomato puree nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀, tọ́bẹ̀ tí wá dùn tán, ẹ wá jẹ, ẹ enjoy it. It's the same thing with death. You have to prepare for it spiritually, physically, and otherwise. Now, health and well-being should also be given great thought and action. This is both physical health and mental health. Now, reflection on life and afterlife is very, very, very important. This sometimes puts into perspective our hustle and bustle and guides our thinking of what's important and what's not important. For example, àwọn kan because lówó iṣẹ́ by hook or by crook, wá fàṣẹ mẹ́wàá, wá fàṣẹ mọ́kànlá. At the end of the day, àbọ̀ ara ló ń fàbọ̀ sí. Sometimes wọ́n ní time for family. Sometimes wọ́n tiẹ̀ ní kí n manager wọn lọ́sàn máa lálàá nípa wọ́n fẹ́ kí ni manager wọn do. So I put in all their effort and time into that job and all that. At the end of the day, tobacco, I'll replace one within maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. Why not get agency worker, I employ me. Life continues for them. So kí on road that mi ò ní ká má ṣiṣẹ́ o, a máa ṣiṣẹ́, but we have to reflect on everything and we have to do our prayers, etc. At the end of the day, tọ́nà bá fi àlùbáríkà sí nǹkan tí yẹn bá ṣe, kò ń ṣe the amount of iṣẹ́ tí yẹn ń ṣe ló jẹ́ àlùbáríkà. Sometimes èèyàn lè put in some less effort, tọ́nà bá dẹ̀ fa àlùbáríkà sí, ó máa yọjú, ó máa ṣe sí rere, ó máa jẹ́ nǹkan rere. But some other people, pẹ̀lú bó ṣe ń faṣẹ́, when they make 1 million, but bukata 2 million only. So at the end of the day, is it really worth it? So kí on reflect on life and afterlife. Now, men are expected to be role models. Men could guide and mentor children on beneficial ways and help them to avoid pitfalls of life. As human beings, as men, as parents, most of us àti rí ilé ayé bó ṣe rí, kò ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ la lè kà nínú ìwé, kò ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ la lè rí nínú fíìmù. In any case, àwọn fíìmù tá à ń wò, wọ́n máa ń fi tomato àti ketchup sínú ẹ̀ kó bá lè dùn. So it's not always the reality. So at the end of the day, ẹni tó jẹ́ bàbá fún ọmọ, ó ti rí ìrírí ayé, so ó dẹ̀ máa ní time and space láti share pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ. So it will give them quality time, and that way they can benefit from the wealth of knowledge and experience. For those in diaspora, àwọn tó kúrò Naija tó lọ sí America, London, gbogbo ẹ̀, there's a big cultural change. Now this brings challenges and it also brings opportunities. Now the other day mo wo film kan, bọ̀bọ̀ kan, he was a big boy in Nigeria, ó wá sí UK or wherever. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ sọ fún wọn pé níbí gbogbo ala máa fa bọ́ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, wọ́n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fa bọ́. Man, no, London, no, woman, no, gbogbo wa là ń fa bọ́ ó wá ń kọrin bí ẹ̀fẹ̀ ni, but that's the reality. So cultural change, ká ní Nàìjíríà lèèyàn ọkùnrin wà, wọ́n lè jókòó, wọ́n ló máa jẹ́ breadwinner. Obìnrin ló máa ṣe oúnjẹ, àwọn ọmọ ló máa fa bọ́ àti obìnrin kankan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. But nílùú táwa yìí ní diaspora, wọ́n ní kálukú á help ni o. And ẹ má gbàgbé pé ìyàwó náà, òun náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ tiẹ̀, ẹ̀yin náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ tẹ̀yin. So at the end of the day, equation yẹn ti change there. So that's part of the change that may happen in diaspora. Now, marriage counseling is an important tool to build not only strong families, but strong communities. If the foundations of marital unions are weak, it could have negative repercussions on all concerned parties as well as society, on both the parties, the spouses, and also the children and even the community or the society. Man, affect everybody. So it's better to see foundation about you are right. Hopefully come out okay. Marriage counseling is a service that might guide the marital process, and it could help avoid unnecessary pitfalls. As life comes with never-ending challenges, support networks go a long way in cushioning this. It could be via religious groups, community groups, family and friends, professional networks, social media groups, old schoolmates, etc. Each of us, we have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. What we need to do is to leverage our individual strengths and support our weaknesses. Kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run dá tó pé maybe àwọn prophets o, but nínú gbogbo àwọn ẹlẹ́ran ara ta kù, Ọlọ́run ò dá wa pé. So, we're not perfect. So we have to leverage our strengths. Ibi tá dẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ rí pé ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó for somebody else, ká support here, in whatever way. Now, in my native Yoruba language, there's an adage which translates to, when each palm washes the other, both become clean. But if done individually, the same results may not be achieved. In other words, I think that's another word for collaboration. And tí bá lè ṣe ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá, ọwọ́ ọ̀tún la fi ń wẹ́ tòsì, ọwọ́ òsì la fi ń wẹ́ tọ̀tún, bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ṣe mọ́. But tó bá jẹ́ pé ọwọ́ ọ̀tún ló ń fọ́ tọ̀tún, tọwọ́ òsì ń fẹ́ fọ́ tòsì, kò ní mọ́ tó bí kí ọwọ́ méjèèjì fọ́ra wọn. So we need to collaborate from time to time, whether it's with your spouse, with your wife, or whether it's at the workplace or in business or wherever. Collaborations do a lot of magic. Now, social activities also have benefits. They help you relax, they help you network, they help you explore opportunities, they help you to bond, they help you to support each other, etc. Now, in most endeavors, there's what they call best practice. If you have a challenge or difficulty, you should research maybe on the internet or other media for solutions. You can also consult other trusted people, and then you can talk through the problems, and hopefully you'll be able to find solutions to the problems. And you could also seek advice from the experts as well. You could then use your discretion and apply this to your problem, and hopefully it will get resolved. There are different things which you could also leverage, such as opportunities, people, exposure, spirituality, etc. You can leverage them from time to time. And it's important to use what you have to get what you want. In the process, you could benefit not only yourself, you could benefit community and humanity. And it could even become a legacy activity, and you could derive benefits even after your demise. In Islam, it's called Sadaqah Jariyah. For example, you do a lot of academic work, or you do something that benefits people continually. Each time, to gain benefit from that thing you've done. In your grave, you are getting Sadaqah Jariyah. So, you have the opportunity to do it, just leverage it. Now, it's important also to have a positive mindset. In most cases, most situations in life, there are two sides to the coin. Sometimes it's positive or negative, etc. So you could choose to be optimistic. You can see the half glass of water as half full, or you can see it as half empty. Positive mindsets usually breed positive outcomes. Now, bringing up children is an important task. It's having the children. You may say it's difficult, maybe not so difficult, but the core activity is bringing them up to be good citizens, to be good Muslims, to be good role models, etc. To be good role models, etc. That's the core. So if you bring them up properly, it can provide beneficial results for all the stakeholders. For example, if you bring up your children properly, they're respectful, they're good citizens in Kokobe, it will benefit you directly and indirectly. It will benefit community, etc. And of course, you make the best of what you have. Whatever it is you have, make the best of it. In as much as you aspire to greater heights, don't lose sight, don't lose the value of contentment and gratitude. Sometimes the way you spend your pennies has greater reward than the way they spend their pounds. Sometimes the way you manage precious time is more valuable than the way they squander what you might call unlimited time. Manage your resources very wisely. This could be time, this could be money, this could be health, this could be wealth, this could be children, this could be fame, this could be strength, spirituality, etc. Manage it very wisely. Like they say, it's not how much, but how well. So you might have so much money, etc. It doesn't make any, you don't have any benefit for community or for anybody. You just squander it and do what. At the end of your time, when you are dead, what is the benefit of all the money you've had? So it's not necessarily how much. Some people don't have so much money. When the money go to no titi, but one ṣàǹfààní fáwọn oníkálukú. Ibi tó bá jẹ́ pé ìjà wà, wọ́n bá wọn parí ẹ̀. Ibi tó bá jẹ́ pé ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó, wá help láti túnṣe àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So it's not how much, but how well. Now watch what you consume. Now it could be food, it could be drink, it could be content. Food and drink you can understand. Tẹ́ bá jẹ oúnjẹ tí ò wúlò fún ara, tó jẹ́ kó máa affect ara, tẹ́ bá dàgbà, ó ṣeé ṣe kó ní àtúbọ̀tán. So you have to take care of that. But also content. Ilé ayé tá wà yìí nísìnyí, ilé ayé internet and television oríṣiríṣi ló ń fi sórí internet àti gbogbo àwọn media yẹn. So you have to watch what you take in. Sometimes, for example, I will show, apart from the X-rated stuff, to show sometimes some people on WhatsApp, they post very violent information on content. At the end of the day, when you're posting violent content and you're consuming violent content all the time, eventually you are likely to be violent to your children, to family, and community. So watch what you eat, what you drink, and the content you consume. Some of them come in different disguises. They are sugar-coated and with a lot of glitter. So at the end of the day, you have to beware. They are not necessarily good. Some of them does appear to be good, but they're not necessarily good. There is also a popular adage that if you chase 4 chickens at the same time, you may end up catching none. So what I'm trying to say is that the importance of focus cannot be overemphasized. It's better if you consider concluding a few tasks at a time so that you conclude them, and then after that, you can do more. I think it's probably better than taking on a multitude of tasks, maybe 220 tasks. At the end of the day, if you are having your hand in different pies all at the same time, and you want to do that as well. So at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, you haven't achieved anything. So focus, do a few things at a time, and inshallah, if Allah adds barakah to that, you can do other things as well, inshallah. Now, life, it generally presents opportunities. This could be in form of ideas, exposure, network, finance, skills, experience, location, etc. Make use of your opportunities while it still matters. Capturing ideas could be a very beneficial activity. Some have ideas at different times, different circumstances, at different places. Very, very few capture and execute those ideas. By capturing and utilizing your ideas in a systematic way, yourself and society could actually benefit immensely. For example, in my case, I look at myself as a bit of a creative. By virtue of my location, I see a lot of things. Sometimes when they came in one meeting, idea strike me. Sometimes when they pay idea strike me. So for most of us, the idea ever strike I repay my and eventually it'll come and fade away. And then eventually Tabari will meet to share the same idea. Emi more than the idea a long time ago, but at the end of the day, fishing cocoa. What I generally do, Timatini idea being, I jot it down in my jotter, and then from time to time, if I need to update that idea, it's either a key improvement on the idea I could share the same. I became key another inspiration one from something else, can I add to my idea, and then I articulate it properly, and then I make use of it and execute it. So, but out of Google, what's on the idea? Probably 5% or 10 or 4% or something like that. Lookman end up to execute idea here. So that's very, very important. Now, the internet, just like other things, could be used positively or negatively. We have social media, we have blogs, we have online courses, YouTube, etc. Now, this could be utilized very positively. Of course, it could be utilized negatively, but let's concentrate on the positive. Personal development could be, from the social media, etc. For example, I do a lot of online learning on YouTube, on Udemy, which I use regularly, even Facebook. Sometimes I join beneficial Facebook groups. So you can leverage all those and get a lot of good content. Personal development. I remember when I was studying, it was so difficult. That was in Nigeria. But you will be, that is the end of me with studying. But the reality, personal development, studying is a lifelong activity. It doesn't end. Sometimes you see some people age 70 or age 80, they are still learning one or two things. So it's a lifelong thing, but you have to have the right mindset, and you try and learn as much as you can. You never know when it will become useful. Imagine if there was a doctor or lawyer in this age, low computer, to take injection nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan ló mọ̀, kò mọ̀ bó ṣe lo internet, kò mọ̀ bó ṣe lo IT, kò mọ̀ bó ṣe lo computer. At the end of the day, would he be competitive? Maybe not. Would he be able to effectively function as a lawyer or doctor in this day and age? Maybe no. Because at the end of the day, I hate to move. So personal development is a continuous thing. So now the role of confidence is also very, very important. In my experience, there are usually 1 or 2% of your network who you could genuinely get advice from. Gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ bí ọ̀rẹ́ àti family àti gbogbo wọn, 100 people, ó lè jẹ́ only 1 or 2 people lè fọ̀rọ̀ lọ ló máa sọ òótọ́ fún yín. So 1 or 2 of them, make use of them. That is a resource tọ́lọ́run fún yín. Wọ́n lè sọ̀rọ̀ fún yín tó jẹ́ òótọ́, ó lè bí yín nínú, bó tẹ́ ẹ lọ sùn lórí ẹ̀ kẹrò nípa ẹ̀ rí wisdom tó wà ń bẹ̀, and then use it to help your situation. And then also doing voluntary work. Voluntary work could actually appear as a waste of time and a waste of resources to some people, but they are not waste of time, not waste of resources. There are benefits that could be derived from voluntary work. For example, you can get useful work experience. For example, apply for a share, they ask you, what experience have you got? Maybe you're a fresh graduate and you have all the qualification but no experience. and any experience over any edge lórí. But sometimes when you do voluntary work, when you do voluntary work, you could actually get useful experience, from doing the voluntary work. Also, when you do voluntary work, you can enjoy camaraderie, interact with people, you get friends, and so on. You can also network with people. You could you could do it as a useful occupation, whereby you are usefully occupied. Like they say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So assuming you have spare time and you're doing voluntary work, that is useful use of your time, and you're using it productively. And also skill acquisition. Sometimes when you're doing the voluntary work, you're actually learning new skills. It's either your employer sends you to do or sends you for training, or you train yourself. Maybe, for example, you are the treasurer or something like that, and you need to know how to use Excel. Maybe in the past you would have bothered to learn how to use Excel, but because of your job and you have to do it effectively, you're probably going to learn Excel, so you can actually acquire new skills as well. And also it might unravel hidden capabilities. But sometimes you have some hidden capabilities. Àwọn kan wà, ẹ̀bùn wà tọ́lọ́run fún yín tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin fúnra yín ẹ lè má tètè mọ̀ pé ẹ ní ẹ̀bùn yẹn. But sometimes ibi tẹ́ ti ń ṣe voluntary work, tẹ́ ti ń ṣe gbá, tẹ́ ti ń ṣàwò, ó ṣeé ṣe kí ẹ̀bùn yẹn jáde. It's either káwọn èèyàn sọ fún yín pé brother Jack Lookman o, ẹ̀yin náà ṣe dáadáa, ẹ ṣe dáadáa. Work kì í ṣe dáadáa bẹ́yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀, ẹ̀yin náà ti make difference. And just to put it in context, iṣẹ́ tí mò ń ṣe nísìnyí tí mo fi ń jẹun is empowerment. And that's my empowerment journey. Ó jáde from doing voluntary work. Ìgbà tí mo wà NASFAT tí mo bá ṣe voluntary work, one of my roles was as an empowerment secretary. It was for a short space of time, maybe 6 months or so, but mo rí benefits tó wà ńbẹ̀. Mo rí pé irú àwọn èèyàn wa, it may benefit them. Maybe I'm able to find knowledge from somewhere and I'm able to share it, etc. Ó máa benefit wọn. Tó bá dẹ̀ benefit wọn, tó bá di èèyàn lọ́la nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀, as a result of that, èmi náà mo máa gba sadaka jariya. Wọ́n lè má fún mi lówó, but mo máa gba sadaka jariya. So that's part of my experience with voluntary work. And learning to be organized could reduce stress and strain. Imagine pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ láti Èkó lọ sí Ìbàdàn, but you are not organized. Ẹ ní road map nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ kàn wa mọ́tò yẹn lọ, ẹ rò pé mọ̀ ọ̀nà nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ kọ́kọ́ lọ sí Enugu, ẹ lọ sí Sokoto. Ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá, ẹ ti wò pé màá ṣáà wo kíní. Ẹ lọ sí Sokoto, kẹ́ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá dé Ìbàdàn tẹ́ ẹ lọ. But if you are organized, one, you can find out how long it will take. You can find the alternative routes of getting to Ibadan. And if you are going to drive, maybe you use a road map or sat-nav or whatever. And that way, maybe your journey might just be 1 hour or 1.5 hours. But assuming you are not organized, ẹ kọ́kọ́ lọ káàkiri, ẹ ti waste time, effort àti gbogbo ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá ti wà younger, ẹ máa ń rò pé time is everlasting. But tẹ́ bá ti ń dàgbà, that time becomes very, very valuable. So, and also it reduces the stress and the strain. Wàhálà tẹ́ máa ṣe, ó máa wà minimize. Yes, you have to put in a bit of extra effort planning, but on the long term, you save a lot of time, a lot of stress, a lot of strain. And it also helps you become more efficient. The quality of work you're delivering is actually more efficient. And you can actually achieve more with less effort. And now it may also be mutually benefit for the younger ones to keep the company of older citizens. Àwọn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ ọ̀dọ́, kẹ́ try láti súnmọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ àgbàlagbà àti arúgbó. Now, on the one hand, you can support them wọ́n níwà too bored, because at the end of the day, bó ṣe ń dàgbà, bó ṣe ń darúgbó yẹn, a lot of them, our classmates, our friends, either kọ́ ti kú àbí kọ́ ti sick nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. But they very few of them local. So, and on the one hand, you are doing sadaka, you're helping them kill their body, their boredom, you're helping them to be happy, and you're helping them to be actively engaged. And you can actually help them stimulate their thought process. Because in the process of talking with you and all that, you are helping their mental health as well. But also, if you are one of those who want to be selfish, etc., okay, what is in it for me? Then maybe you can think, àwọn tó jẹ́ àgbàlagbà tó jẹ́ arúgbó yẹn, wọ́n ti go through life. Some of them have gone through professional life. Some of them have seen wọ́n ti rí life, wọ́n ti rí ìrírí ayé nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Sometimes nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé 1 year lẹ́yìn máa fi wá nǹkan tẹ́ ń wá yẹn. Ó lè jẹ́ pé I want to research the internet, I want to read a book, I want to kíní kan gbogbo àwọn òyìnbó yẹn. Sometimes ó lè jẹ́ pé within 1 hour or 1 day wọ́n á máa sọ solution yẹn fún yín. They've been there, they've done it, 1 year experience, so you can share from that wealth of experience. Mo mọ̀ pé kò ṣe gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà wa ló lọ sí university, at the end of the day, for whatever reason, but ọgbọ́n ilé ayé Ọlọ́run fún wọn, wọ́n ti rí ìrírí ayé, wọ́n ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀. So that in itself is a university. So if you want to learn wisdom, you want to learn experience, have contact with the elderly, speak with them regularly, and so on and so forth. There's an English adage that says, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Now, sometimes you need to get out of that comfort zone. You need to get out of it. Make yourself a bit uncomfortable. Learn new things, try new things. And inshallah, pray that Allah adds barakah to it. And it's also in the Quran, I don't know the verse, but I've read it somewhere, that it's only when you strive, it's only what you strive for that you get. Teba mọ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ get nǹkan, nǹkan tẹ́ ń target nìyí. Teba jókòó, teba ń sùn, tẹ́ ń make effort. Ọlọ́run á gbàdúrà mi o, Ọlọ́run á gbàdúrà mi o. Tẹ́ ń make effort. Ó ṣeé ṣe kí n má get nǹkan yẹn o. Or tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ get ẹ̀, ẹ lè má enjoy ẹ̀. So at the end of the day, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ní nǹkan, àbí tẹ́ bá ní nǹkan tẹ́ ń gbọ́kànlé, of course you have to do your istihara. Ẹ gbàdúrà lọ fọ́sọ́lọ́ tó bá dáa fún mi nílé ayé mi àti fún religion mi nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, k'Ọlọ́run fẹ́ àbáríkà sí. Tí ò bá dẹ̀ dáa fún mi, k'Ọlọ́run yọ kúrò fún mi, k'Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ yọ kúrò lọ́kàn mi. And then nǹkan tó bá dáa fún mi, k'Ọlọ́run bùkún ẹ̀ fún mi. But you have to make effort. Àdúrà nìkan kò tẹ́ gbéyàn, kò jẹ́ kí èèyàn gbélé ayé. Tó bá yẹ pé kàn gbàdúrà lẹ́ẹ̀bà wa lójoojúmọ́. In any case, ẹlẹ́ran ara ni gbogbo wa. Bá gbàdúrà láti èmi títí di ìgbà tó bá kú, ẹlẹ́ran ara wa a máa ṣe. Àánú Ọlọ́run la fi ń wọ àlùjánnà. Tó bá jẹ́ pé iṣẹ́ owó wa ni, ó ṣeé ṣe ká má wọ àlùjánnà. So tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan wà nínú dúníyà ìtẹ́lẹ̀, put in the effort, get out of your comfort zone, kẹ́ gbìyànjú, kẹ́ try láti ṣe. Tọ́lọ́run bá ní bá fà mí sí, á mí sí, alhamdulillah. Tọ́lọ́run bá fà mí sí, ẹ máa gba kádàrá, ẹ dẹ̀ go and try something else. But láti má ṣe nǹkan kan yẹn ò bọ́ sí o. Now also explore your potentials and your God-given talents. In my opinion, Ọlọ́run fún gbogbo wa ní ẹ̀bùn. For some people, ẹ̀bùn tọ́lọ́run fún yàn ó lè pọ̀ díẹ̀. For some other people, ẹ̀bùn tọ́lọ́run fún yàn ó lè má pọ̀. For example, I'll give an example during the course of this talk, just for your reflection. But at the end of the day, for some people, owó lọ́lọ́run fún yàn as ẹ̀bùn. In some cases, owó yẹn gan pàápàá fìtínà ló lè jẹ́, because it is responsibility. Tọ́lọ́run bá fún yín lówó, tẹ́ ẹ bá fi ṣe nǹkan dáadáa tó jẹ́ pé kàn ra mọ́tò jọ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ra mọ́tò mọ́ mọ́tò, kẹ́ ń ra ilé mọ́ ilé, ẹbí wà níbẹ̀ tó ń jìyà, ẹ fún wọn lóúnjẹ jẹ, ẹ empower wọn, ẹ ṣe kankan, community wà níbẹ̀, wọ́n ní owó yín, kẹ́ help wọn, ẹ help wọn, nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó máa benefit ìlú, ẹ̀yin kàn kówó jọ, I'm a big man, ẹ̀yin náà ti débẹ̀. Ṣé yẹn la fẹ́ jẹ ní nǹkan tẹ́ bá ṣe, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ro dáadáa. Tó bá jẹ́ pé owó yẹn nìkan lẹ̀ ń gbọ́kànlé pé I'm a big man, ọjọ́ tẹ́ bá ní àárẹ̀, ìyẹn ló máa tọ́jú yín o and owó tẹ́ni yẹn ó máa useless fún yín tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ kú tó bá jẹ́ pé corona ló pa yín or whatever àwọn tẹ́ bá ṣe dáadáa fún ó lẹ́kì kan gbàdúrà fún yín ó lè jẹ́ pé ẹ ti ń súnmọ́ jahannam tó jẹ́ pé àdúrà wọn ló máa make difference ẹ tẹ́ máa fi wá jana so at the end of the day whatever your potential is kò bá jẹ́ owó kò bá jẹ́ ọgbọ́n whatever it is kẹ́ lò dáadáa and ẹ máa ń wò pé ẹ máa wà miserly pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ mo lọ́gbọ́n kan for example ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan ó ní idea iṣu bó ṣe máa preserve iṣu yẹn kó má bàjẹ́ ó ń sọ fún wọn my friend jẹ́ ká make owó nínú kíní jẹ́ ká lò kó benefit àwọn èèyàn jẹ́ ká máa ta iṣu ní Tesco iṣu tó ti bẹ́ tí ò ní bàjẹ́ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ó ní I don't want them to steal my idea I don't want them to say títí dè ní kò tí ì execute idea yẹn ó ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ ó ṣeé ṣe kó bá lọ sí grave ẹ̀ so at the end of the day whatever ẹ̀bùn tọ́lọ̀ bá fìyàn ẹ ó máa jáde nínú ara yín kẹ̀dẹ̀ lò ó kẹ̀ fi benefit ara yín kẹ̀dẹ̀ fi benefit society inshallah ẹ̀yin náà máa tẹ́ bá ń benefit society kò ń ṣe society nìkan lẹ̀ ń benefit o ara yín náà ẹ̀ ń benefit ara yín because táwọn society bá rí pé bàbá yìí ṣe dáadáa o tẹ́ bá rí pé business lẹ́ ń ṣe ó ṣe ṣe kọ́ máa wá patronize yín tó bá tẹ̀jọ́ ọjọ́ tẹ́ bá máa kú náà ó ṣe ṣe kọ́ ń gbàdúrà fún yín wọ́n á sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa lẹ́yìn yín wọ́n á gbàdúrà fún yín nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ so those are things you should do and don't forget pé ẹ̀bùn tọ́lọ́run fún yín for a reason ọlọ́run ò fún yín ní ẹ̀bùn yẹn kẹ́ hoard ẹ̀ àbí kẹ́ tọ́jú ẹ̀ ọlọ́run fún yín ní ẹ̀bùn yẹn kẹ́ lò ó to your benefit and to the benefit of society so take that into consideration. Now there's a Yoruba adage that says ẹni tí ò bá mọ nírò kò ní mọ pẹ́ dá. Now if you are not one of those who reflect you never show gratitude. Now there's also an adage that says if you are ungrateful to your fellow humans you are unlikely to be grateful to your creator and sustainer. It is also said again that in the process of expressing gratitude, you are likely to get even more. It is very important to continually show gratitude. Tí ẹ bá ṣe dára fún yín kẹ́ dúpẹ́ kẹ́ sọ thank you ó ṣeé ṣe kẹ́ rí mi gbà but tẹ́ bá dúpẹ́ ó ṣeé ṣe pé ọjọ́ tẹ́ bá ní ìṣàbíyàn yẹn ẹ má bínú o mo fẹ́ lọ sí kíní lọ́jọ́ yẹn wàá find excuse jáde torí ilẹ̀ tẹ́tẹ̀ omi tẹ́ dà síwájú báwo ṣe ń pòwe yẹn omi tẹ́ dà síwájú yẹn ilẹ̀ tútù tẹ́ ń tẹ̀ nìyẹn tẹ́ bá dá omi dáadáa síwájú ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ tútù tó dáa but tẹ́ bá dá omi burúkú síwájú ó ṣeé ṣe kó jẹ́ pé burúkú náà lè máa bá. And then most importantly you have to show gratitude to the creator and sustainer. Now ọlọ́run dá wa ọlọ́run ò need anything látọ̀dọ̀ wa àwa la need nǹkan látọ̀dọ̀ ọlọ́run bọ́lọ́run ṣe ń bùkún wa tọ́lọ́run fún wa wọ́n lè jẹ́ there are a lot of things we take for granted wípé oúnjẹ tí ẹ wà lórí table wípé ẹ ní last £5 nínú àpò yín wípé ẹ̀mí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan àwọn ẹ̀bùn tọ́lọ́run fún wa nìyẹn tẹ́ bá ń reflect kẹ́ máa dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́run at all times ẹ má wò ó wípé ṣé bí èmi àti bọ̀dá Nasiru ní àjọṣe tán ṣe bó òun ní mọ́tò òun ní kinní kan 5 million gangan bẹ́ẹ̀ ìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ronú kọ́ nìyẹn in Islam wọ́n encourage wa ká kọ́ máa wo iwájú in fact iwájú tá à ń wò yẹn díẹ̀ ní ká máa wò ká bojú wẹ̀yìn ká wo àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn and in most cases àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn wọ́n pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ ju àwọn tó wà níwájú lọ. So at the end of the day tẹ́ bá wo àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn ní àpèjúwe ẹ wo àwọn tó wà ní Libya ṣé bí big lifestyle on live in those days big lifestyle they were very rich etc. Ogun ṣẹlẹ̀ ó sọ a lot of people di level 0 so ọlọ́run ló ṣe bó ṣe wù ú so at the end of the day ká máa dúpẹ́ irrespective tó bá jẹ́ pé £5 yẹn ló kù lápò ẹ̀ there are some people tó ẹ̀ ti jẹun for 3 days or 2 days. So ká máa dúpẹ́ all the time ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́run and inshallah ọlọ́run á máa bùkún sometimes ọlọ́run bá ń bùkún ó lè má jẹ owó ó lè jẹ́ wisdom, ó lè jẹ́ wisdom yẹn ibi tẹ́ bá lò ó tún máa fún yín lálùbáríkà ju owó tẹ́ ń tọrọ lọ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. And now I want to share a hypothetical story with you, just as food for thought. Two friends, one graduates láti the same university. One of them, olówó, olọ́lá, nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀, ìkejì yẹn struggle, but ó lọ́gbọ́n, ó ní gbọ́gbọ́n gan. Now, ètò jẹ́ struggler, ó máa ń visit rich friend yẹn, ó máa ń visit yẹn from time to time. Tó bá ti visit yẹn tán, ìyẹn á fún lóúnjẹ, á fún ní drink tó máa mu. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti mú gbogbo ẹ̀, struggler yẹn á wash up, á keep ibẹ̀ tidy, á dẹ̀ sọ pé thank you. Now ọjọ́ kan, rich friend yẹn yìí kò tí ì visit yẹn rí o, kò tí ì wo lọ kí ọ̀rẹ́ struggler yẹn. But one eventful day, tó jẹ́ game changer, one eventful day, bàbá rich man yìí, ó lọ sí ilé struggler yìí unannounced, ó kàn lọ síbẹ̀. Now struggler yìí kò ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ lálejò, ó prepare a very delicious meal. Ó dà pé àmàlà àti gbẹ̀gìrì àbí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ àti gbin díndín. So he prepared it, but quantity ẹ̀ kò pọ̀, ó kàn ṣe níwọ̀nba. Now he also served his friend half a glass of drink. Ó kàn bu drink ẹ̀ níwọ̀nba because that was all tó wà nílé. Now he himself, òun ò mu drink ẹ̀ ó fún ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀, òun decide láti mu omi tap. Now ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ bàbá olówó, inú ẹ̀ bàjẹ́, he was very upset. After all, every time tí wọ́n bá wá sílé mi, mo máa ń ṣe é lálejò, màá fún ẹ ní oúnjẹ, màá fún ẹ ní oríṣiríṣi, màá tún fún ẹ ní drink. Òun ro gbogbo ẹ̀, ó ṣáà ń rò ó. Ibi tó ti ń ronú lọ, drink tó fẹ́ fi mu ìyẹn jábọ́, ó fọ́ sínú ọbẹ̀ àti oúnjẹ tó fẹ́ jẹ, ó fọ́ síbẹ̀, drink ẹ̀ dà síbẹ̀, drink glass yẹn fọ́, ó dà síbẹ̀. So ó dẹ̀ fọ́. So but the rich friend, after tí yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀, ó dà kébi ń pa, ó sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀, that's the struggler, pé ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, máa bá mi wá oúnjẹ mi o, ebi ń pa mi, bá mi wá oúnjẹ. Attitude ló dẹ̀ fi sọ, ṣọmọ bí àwọn big man yẹn ṣe máa ń sọ̀rọ̀, ṣé wàá bá mi lọ wá oúnjẹ mi jọ, ilé ti bàjẹ́, ká jẹ oúnjẹ yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀. Anyway, nígbà tó sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ kó lọ ṣe oúnjẹ mi, of course ìyẹn ò ṣe oúnjẹ yẹn, but àṣírí kan wá tún bẹ́ẹ̀. Now bọ̀bọ̀ olówó yìí, ó lọ sí kitchen fún rẹ̀, ó lọ síbẹ̀ with the intention of preparing food for himself and getting even more drink. Pé drink àbọ̀ tó fún mi yìí kò tó status mi, so ó fẹ́ lọ sí kitchen, ó fẹ́ lọ ṣe fún rẹ̀. Ìgbà tó wá lọ sí kitchen, ibẹ̀ ni àṣírí wá tú. Ó rí a few slices of bread, mi ò mọ̀ bóyá mẹ́ta àbí mẹ́rin, ó yẹn wà ní fridge. Kò tiẹ̀ sí margarine, kò sí butter, kò sí nǹkan kan, but medication bọ̀bọ̀ struggler yìí, ìyẹn náà wà ní fridge. That was all tó wà ní kitchen yẹn tó jẹ́ bí oúnjẹ. Now questions and answers followed. Bàbá olówó ń béèrè question, bọ̀bọ̀ struggler náà answer question. Wọ́n ṣàbẹ̀rẹ̀ oríṣiríṣi question. Now nígbà tí olówó yẹn wá wò ó, so àṣé pé bọ̀bọ̀ yìí struggle. Okay, because òun jẹ́ olówó, ó ní ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ìwọ mo fẹ́ fún ẹ lówó gbantigbanti, mo fẹ́ fún ẹ 5 million, nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi bàbá struggler, ó tí o, mi ò fún ẹ o. What I actually want ni pé I have a bank of ideas, oríṣiríṣi idea ni mo ní, but kò sówó, so mi ò lè ṣe kankan náà. What I want is a business partnership with you. Let us go into business together. I have all the thoughts, I've articulated all the ideas àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nǹkan tó ń jẹ mí níyà lówó, ìwọ̀n gbówó sílẹ̀, àdé wà bá share whatever. So they struck a deal, they agreed on terms, and then wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ business. Wọ́n ṣe business yẹn tòrò. Wọ́n tún ṣe other businesses ó tòrò. At the end of the day, àti bàbá olówó àti bàbá struggler, they were both happy and they were both accomplished Ọlọ́run fi àlùbáríkà sí nǹkan tó ṣe. Now, does any part of this narrative, does it resonate with you? Does it bring out any thought processes with you? Did you pick one or two lessons from the narrative? It's not a real life story, but it can be true to life. Now, finally, it's important to make hay while the sun shines. Àwọn Yorùbá wọ́n sọ pé ìgbà ara là ń búra. Do what you need to do at the right time. Don't keep postponing and procrastinating. You may not have opportunity for a lifetime. Like they say, sometimes opportunity comes but once. But in this day and age, it comes a few times, but it doesn't come for a lifetime. Sometimes if 13 postpone, all the jade, energy tenini, but why kekere anybody. So, and maybe in those days, because internet why you. So life might change. So Ibara Lambura, nǹkan bá lè ṣe, try láti ṣe. Tẹ́ bá need help, seek help. Ọlọ́run kúkú ṣe, it is easier to use internet àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So you can always find people that can partner with you, etc. There's another Yoruba proverb which says, Ìgbà yín kò dúró dẹnìkan. Time keeps moving. It waits for no one. Yorubas also say, Àbọ̀rọ̀ là ń sọ fún ọmọlúwàbí. Tó bá dénú ẹ̀, àdòdìdì. Now, my name is Lookman, Nasirdeen Carew, aka Lookman. Our mission is to empower and inspire generations by leveraging the internet. To get a text version of this, please visit jacksempowerment.com. I hope that you've been able to learn one or two things. A call or inshallah. So, God bless you. Thank you very much.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ire owó, ire ọmọ, ire àlàáfíà, ire àìkú baálẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ kí ó máa bá gbogbo wa. A dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ọwọ́ àlejò pàtàkì tí a gbà lénìí tí wọ́n bá wa sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ṣítí. Èmi fúnra mi jókòó, mò ń gbọ́ gbogbo àlàyé tẹ́ ń ṣe, mo dẹ̀ ń bá yín lọ. Kọ́lọ́run kó bá wa san yín ní ẹ̀san olóore tó pọ̀. Ibi tí ayé dé lénìí, ó ṣe pàtàkì kí ọkùnrin kó mọ obìnrin, kí obìnrin kó sì mọ ọkùnrin, kí ọkọ kó mọ ìyàwó dáadáa, kí ìyàwó kó dẹ̀ mọ ọkọ, kí ọkọ tó wá mọ ohun tó ń pè lóbìnrin, kí aya tó wá mọ nǹkan tó ń pè lọ́kùnrin. Tí a bá ní àgbọ́yé yìí dáadáa, àjọṣepọ̀ wa ó máa dáa ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. Nítorí tí challenges bá dé, tá a bá sátọ Ọlọ́run lọ, àwa náà need láti máa ṣe nǹkan ẹyọkan àbí ìkejì láti tún fi gbá ìmọ̀ọ́nì wa lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kóhun tá à ń sọ yìí kó lè di odidi. Kí Ọlọ́run aláàánú jùlọ kí ó bá wa dúpẹ́ fún yín. A fi àsìkò yìí kí gbogbo àwa tí à ń wò wá, ká kọ́kọ́ gbé láti orí Instagram. Bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé a ní àǹfààní láti rí àlejò wa lénìí lórí Instagram, àmọ́ mo nígbàgbọ́ pé ẹ gbọ́. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ tí ẹ farabalẹ̀ tí ẹ ń bá ètò yìí lọ láti ìgbà tí a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Mo kí fast_fashion house, ẹ ṣé tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lénìí. Hajia_Medina, mo dúpẹ́ o. I am Olatunde Jimoh, ẹ ṣé tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Balus Slim Fat, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí ẹ̀yin náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Àti ẹ̀yin tí mi ò ní àǹfààní láti rí tí máa fi dárúkọ yín bí a ṣe ń bá ètò lọ. Ó wá tá à ń wò lórí YouTube, Sister Rahmat Sessions, mo kí yín. Young Shagoro pátápátá, mo kí gbogbo yín pátápátá. Àti Alhaja wa Sister Omotoke Mariam Shoderu Saka, mo kí yín. Dr. Ayeola, mo kí yín ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Akuola Jimoh tèmi, èmi wá ṣe púpọ̀. Sayida wa Latifa Ayeola, mo kí yín ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Brother Yusuf Bọ́lájí Dọ́là, mo kí ẹ̀yin náà lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Àti ẹ̀yin tí mi ò ní àǹfààní láti dárúkọ yín torí tí a bá ń ṣe program báyìí gbogbo èèyàn kan ni a máa ń sábà rí ohun tí program bá parí. Mi ò kọyan yín kéré o. Mo kí gbogbo wa pátápátá. Àwa ti dé ìpele kí a máa béèrè ìbéèrè question and answer. Àwa tí a bá ní ohun àfikún, tí a bá ní nǹkan ẹyọkan àbí méjì tí a fẹ́ yọ kúrò nínú nǹkan tí àwọn àlejò wa ti sọ fún wa lénìí, a ní àǹfààní láti pè sí studio àbí kí a fi mẹ́sẹ̀gì sílẹ̀ lórí Instagram ni, lórí YouTube ni àbí Facebook tí a dẹ̀ máa gbìyànjú láti dáhùn. Studio number 07983239799. Studio number wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 07983239799 ní studio number. Ọlọ́run á gbà ní ìbádà fún wa. Gbogbo ìgbà ni a máa ń wá bí ó ṣe máa dá obìnrin ṣáà ní gbogbo ìgbà. Àwa ní ká dá ètò ìní, ká dá lórí àwọn ọkùnrin wa. Kí a lè ní àgbọ́yé, ká tún lè farabalẹ̀, ká lè kọ́rọ̀ wọn tún lè yé wa dáadáa. Torí nígbà míì irúfẹ́ èèyàn oríṣiríṣi ló wà. Ẹlòmíì wà genuinely ó ní ọkàn tó dáa. Ẹlòmíì wà tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé pò kí gbáà ni lọ́kùnrin. Bó ṣe wà ní òbí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ló wà ní gbàǹjà. Àmọ́ nítorí pé gbogbo la máa ń sábà sọ nípa àwa obìnrin, la ṣe ní kí a wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọkùnrin náà lénìí. Ẹlòmíì lè máa mọ̀ wípé ọkùnrin máa ń ní challenges tó máa ń go through. Ẹlòmíì lóbìnrin lè máa gbàgbọ́ pé so ọkùnrin náà máa tiẹ̀ ń ronú, so ọkùnrin náà máa tiẹ̀ ń banú jẹ́. Obìnrin míì lè máa mọ̀, ó lè jẹ́ wípé bóyá ìwà tí irú ọkùnrin tó bá sún bá ń hù, àbí kó jẹ́ wípé kò ní àǹfààní láti mọ irú ẹni tí ọkùnrin yẹn jẹ́ dáadáa. Gbogbo wa la ti gbọ́ nísìnyí lẹ́nu ọkùnrin wípé ọkùnrin náà máa ń ronú, ọkùnrin náà sì máa ń ní nǹkan tó máa ń bà wọ́n nínú jẹ́ àbí nǹkan tó máa ń kà wọ́n láyà ní àsìkò kan àbí ìkejì. Tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé a dẹ̀ ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ ní ọkùnrin láti wá solution, kí a má dákẹ́, kí a má pa nǹkan tí ò ṣe pamọ́ra. Tí ó bá ti wá kó má wàá pẹ́ jù, sódà kò ní fa nǹkan míì sí wa lára. Ọlọ́run ọba ló dá wa. Ọkùnrin lágbára, ọkùnrin lọ́kàn lóòótọ́. Àmọ́ ọkàn yìí tí a bá ṣe ń dàgbà sí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa weak sí àti ara. Ibi tí ayé dẹ̀ dé lénìí, ohunkóhun tí ò bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbésí ayé ọmọ ẹ̀dá, yálà tó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó ń bani nínú jẹ́ ni, àbí nǹkan tó ń pani láyà, àbí nǹkan tí kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó jẹ́ nǹkan ìwúrí, àǹfààní wà fún wa láti tún ibi kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ yẹn ká tún ṣe. Tá a bá sáré lọ bọ́ Ọlọ́run pọ́lọ́run ṣàánú mi, ó ní àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan àbí ìkejì tí àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ gbé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọkùnrin. Gbogbo ọ̀nà yìí ni wọ́n ti yànnàná fún wa kí Ọlọ́run láàánú jùlọ kí ó gbà ní ìbádà. Àwa ọkùnrin lóòótọ́ a ní agbára, Ọlọ́run fi wá ṣe olórí obìnrin. Àmọ́ ẹni tọ́lọ́run fi ṣe olórí obìnrin, iṣẹ́ pọ̀ fún wa láti ṣe. Ó máa ń sábà rọrùn fún obìnrin ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ láti máa ṣe ìjọsìn nínú ìgbéyàwó. Tí a bá wo percentage àwọn tí wọ́n lọ sí church àtàwọn tí wọ́n lọ sí mosque, àwọn obìnrin ló máa ń sábà pọ̀ jù. Àwọn ọkùnrin a máa ń lẹ tó bá ti di wípé ká súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run. Àmọ́ Ọlọ́run fún wa lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti a ní agbára àti strength tí a máa fi ṣiṣẹ́ láti ìgbà tí ọmọkùnrin bá ti ń gbọ́njú. Tí a bá tọ́jú ìyá àti bàbá tí ó bí wa, a máa tọ́jú àwa tá a ní girlfriend, a tọ́jú girlfriend. A máa ṣe báyìí títí a máa fi fẹ́ ìyàwó sílé. A máa wá gbé bùkátà ìyàwó, a gbé bùkátà ìyá ìyàwó, nígbà míì a gbé bùkátà àwọn òbí wa. Nígbà míì ó lè jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n àbúrò ní family àwa là gbé bùkátà. A tún mú tàwọn ẹbí ìyàwó mọ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ wà ńbẹ̀, àwọn aláìní wà ńbẹ̀. Gbogbo bùkátà yìí tí a máa ń kó tira, tá a máa ń kó sọ́kàn, ó níbi tí gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa ń fàbọ̀ sí. Gbogbo ọkùnrin pátápátá, gbogbo èèyàn pátápátá ló nídìí àmójútó at one point in time ní ìgbésí ayé wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ kí a tún ètò yìí gbọ́ dáadáa. Tí a bá parí ẹ̀, kí a tún wò dáadáa. Ibi tí àwa ti nídìí ìrànlọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe àtúnṣe níbẹ̀ kí a fi ìfẹ́ hàn sí ọkàn wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọkùnrin. One man battalion irọ́ ni, ìyẹn kan ò kì í ṣe one man battalion, ìyẹn kan ò dẹ̀ kì í ṣe 4 man. Gbogbo ẹ́ńjìnì ara yìí pátápátá ló ní a gbọ́dọ̀ máa tọ́jú tí a dẹ̀ máa fi ìsinmi sí ní particular time. Kọ́lọ́run aláàánú jùlọ kó gbà fún wa. Tí obìnrin bá ké hey nísìn, tọkùnrin bá ké hey, igbe obìnrin lọ́ kọ́kọ́ máa gbọ́ kí wọ́n tó gbọ́ títí ọkùnrin. Ǹjẹ́ ọkùnrin ò wá tiẹ̀ wá ráyé wá ni? Ọkùnrin ó ráyé wá, ó dẹ̀ ní ọ̀nà bí a ṣe máa ṣe tí gbogbo nǹkan kí ó lè lọ bí a ṣe ń fẹ́ kó lọ, kí àwa náà lè ní ìsinmi. Ẹ jẹ́ kí àwa tí a jẹ́ obìnrin, ẹ jẹ́ kí a gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ kí àwọn ọkọ wa, àwọn bàbá wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa àbí granddad wa kí wọ́n wo ètò yìí, ẹ share ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn. Wọ́n á rí ohun àǹfààní kan àbí kejì mú látara ẹ̀. Àwa tí a bá jẹ́ ìyàwó ilé, tí a bá wo fídíò yìí, ẹ share pẹ̀lú àwọn fídíò ìyàwó ilé míì kí a tún lè mọ àwọn ọkọ tá a fẹ́ sílé dáadáa, ká lè mọ àwọn bàbá tí a fẹ́ sílé dáadáa, ká lè mọ̀ wípé ìgbà kan náà máa ń wà tọkùnrin máa ń ronú, ìgbà kan sì máa ń wà tọkùnrin máa ń wà nínú ìbànújẹ́. Bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé gbogbo ìgbà ọkùnrin kì í sábà fi hàn tí wọ́n bá wà nínú ìpayà àbí inú ìbànújẹ́. Àwa obìnrin la máa ń tètè tara, la máa ń ké. Àmọ́ eléyìí tó pọ̀ jù tọkùnrin máa ń ṣe ni wọ́n máa ń sunkún sínú. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ kì í fẹ́ sábà wá solution. A máa ń sábà ọ̀rọ̀ èmi lọkùnrin, ó máa ń fa oríṣiríṣi nǹkan sí ọkùnrin lára. Ètò yìí lè ní a dedicate fún àwọn ọkùnrin ni láti wá, ẹ jẹ́ ká weigh àwọn options tá a ní. Tí a bá ní nǹkan tí ó ń dà wá láàmú, tó ń da ọkàn wa rú, solution wà pẹ̀lú ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run tí ó tún máa jẹ́ kí ẹ̀mí wa lè gùn sí pẹ̀lú ìyọ̀ǹda Ọlọ́run, tó máa tún jẹ́ kí a ní ìfàyàbalẹ̀, tó máa tún jẹ́ kí gbogbo nǹkan kó lọ fún wa dáadáa. Kọ́lọ́run aláàánú jùlọ kó gba wọ̀nba tí a bá sọ lórí ètò yìí ní ìbádà fún gbogbo wa pátápátá. Àwa tí a bá fẹ́ béèrè ìbéèrè àbí a bá fẹ́ sọ ohun kan àbí ìkejì ní àfikún, studio number 07983 239 799 07983 239 799 ní studio number. Our guest speaker today have analyzed, express and explain the possible achievements of men and the society, the challenges they face in the society, the failures they can come across in their own personal life, homes, or in the society, and finding solution or finding balance to be a happier person and also to protect the good things that we have. Today's program is dedicated to our men, to understand him as a father, to understand him as a granddad, as an uncle, as a husband, and as a friend. It's really important for you to understand the male you have in your life. Many of us have children who are male, who are boys. We have a lot of work, a lot of things to do to encourage them to be better men, to have confidence, and to be themselves when they go into the society. This is part of the upbringing women and men give their children. Even though some men have seen things, child upbringing, it's only a woman's business. But from what our guest speaker has said today, it's totally different. A man, as a father especially, is a role model to his kids, whether a girl kid or a girl child or a boy child. I have a question, sir. At what point can a man get it wrong? Generally, in a lot of ways, maybe at work, in family life, in the society, is it possible for a man to get it wrong? And when this happens, does a man accept that I've actually been wrong?
Well, you've used the word man, so I'm presuming it's from age 21 and above. So, but I think as human beings, in my opinion, we are not perfect. Very, very, very imperfect. irrespective of our best endeavors, irrespective of our best spirituality, etc., we are imperfect. So, as in terms of getting it wrong, in my opinion, we've always been getting it wrong for a very long time. But the important thing is to think of it positively. Yes, we are imperfect, we're human beings. And if there are imperfections or get anything wrong, the important thing is to try and correct it. But as men, sometimes there's this ego thing, we feel we are Superman, etc. But, what I would normally counsel is that if you're in a marital union, for example, and maybe the man gets it wrong, as a woman, bear at the back of your mind that, you have to, like Yoruba say, pele, olako, olabo. You can say the same, you can pass the same message in different ways. You can say, oh, stupid man, don't you know you're not supposed to do it? Or you can say, look for a time when he's cool-headed, when he's calm, maybe when he's in a good mood or something like that. And then pass your message gently and in such a way that it will be receptive. It might be direct, it might be indirect. The important thing is to pass the message to him. And this goes vice versa. Women too get it wrong sometimes too. And as husband, you don't think you are lording over her. I am the head of the house, Kiniko. I'm anointed by God, so you have to kneel down and beg me. No. In this day and age, the way in which they call it management. You manage people's emotions, etc. And as you grow older, you become better at doing it. When you're younger, you have so much energy in you, so you can probably be more aggressive in Gongabe. But as you grow older, you're hopefully wiser as well. So you're able to correct things in a more mature way. So in answer to your questions, in my opinion, nothing but to be well, I think get it wrong. But at the end of the day, there are things that can be corrected. So, and that's the whole purpose of life, to correct whatever is incorrect.
Thank you, sir. May Allah bless you abundantly. Brother Sadiq Olasoji Oguneye. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Watching live from France. Thank you so much, sir. Ẹ kú ìfẹ́ Ọlọ́run bá wa dúpẹ́ fún yín o. Ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ bá rántí bá wa share fídíò yìí. Àwo kì í sọ gossip lórí ètò wa. We talk about real life situations and how we can find help and solution and how we can actually better our life. So ẹ jẹ́ bá wa share so it can be useful to somebody else. Kọ́lọ́n Ọlọ́run jùlọ kí ó gbà ní ìbádà fún wa. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ tí ẹ bá mi dáhùn ìbéèrè yẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ wípé men do get it wrong. Ẹ ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ego. Ego is a big thing fún ọkùnrin. Tó jẹ́ pé a máa ń mọ bá ṣe máa ń maintain or manage nígbà míì. Àmọ́ ẹ tún sọ wípé looking after your health. 9 out of 10 men or 7 out of 10 men wọ́n tún máa ń bá wọn jà kan lo paracetamol when they have headache ni. Is it a man thing or ṣé bó ṣe wà nìyẹn? Because I know women that actually kojo kan when most men, let me use a lot of men don't actually look after their health, and when it's time to actually use some proper medicine, obìnrin tí wọ́n máa lé wọn káàkiri ni. Is it that the ego doesn't come to play in that aspect? That's when...
in my opinion, when such a situation happens, after the woman has advised the man, Kokolo paracetamol or whatever, Kolo yoleyin, Kolo paracetamol.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, so me, sense me. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, health is very, very important, both physical and both mental health. One of the projects I'm trying to work on is an okele maker, something to make okele. For example, there was one time when I was still a bachelor, when I came around something. But because she prepared a big, is it morsel they call it, of amala, but the long and short of it is that personally, èmi ò like kí n máa waste oúnjẹ. So, iyán yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. So, I had to finish it. Ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ finish it, kí ló kàn? Ó sùn lọ ní straight. So at the end of the day, ikùn á máa yọ, á máa tóbi. So at the end of the day, that health thing is a thing of both parties, and it's also a thing of education. In those days, as àwọn àgbàlagbà, it is very okay tó bá ti ṣe àmàlà ńlá, láti jẹun yẹn. Mama Sikira will try go obey do kinikon go. But in this day and age, you are not supposed to overeat. You eat in Niwoba. Even Islamically, you eat Niwoba. The food is supposed to fuel you to do other things. At the end of the day, eventually, someone like me, and it's not very healthy. But if you eat, everyone will go, for example, some of them, and then if they are hungry after 2 hours or 3 hours, it's either a snack of fruits or maybe that type of thing. But in our own culture, so at the end of the day, maybe we become obese. Maybe at the end of the day, you sit down most of the time, you don't do exercise, etc. And
mute anything.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, he's back now. I think going.
Okay. So there's the physical health and there's the mental health. So for the physical health one, I know I'm not an expert in health matters, but there's physical, what you take into your body is very important. The nutrients in Konkobe. Mental health is also very important. Sometimes as men, we actually push ourselves too hard. We go to work, we want to do 10 jobs, go away about it. At the end of the day, sometimes you are doing a course which Agbára ò gbé, and because you know somebody somewhere, you go and do a course Agbára ò gbé, eventually the burden becomes too much on you. Sometimes you are endowed with particular gifts. Maybe your strength academically is in one area, but because of peer pressure, maybe you have to do medicine or law or something like that. Meanwhile, that's not really what you are gifted to do. So you force yourself to do it. Eventually, you become a mismatch. You go to work, you are miserable all the time. Meanwhile, if you are doing a job that you really enjoy doing, you will give it your all. You feel very enthused to do it. It's something you will enjoy doing. Topa GN 3 o'clock, Brother Jack Lookman, what's the solution to that problem? You're already giving it to them, even without thinking or consulting, because that's something you enjoy. But by the time you mismatch your skill base, and that's another issue. And then sometimes, Isheta and Shay, it boxes us. For example, in my own case, I was a rent officer, I was boxed there. I studied engineering, I was boxed there. But what is my inherent skill? Have I reflected over time that what are the things I'm good at naturally? And for example, if what I'm good at is empowerment, for example, I can now develop my skills. In my own case, when I was working, my last job, I had opportunity to be team leader, manager, and Kankabeng. But I told myself, I don't want any of those positions. All I want is a basic job to put bread and butter on the table for my children, family. That was my intent. And then in my spare time, I can use that to pursue my interest. So what used to happen, I'll go to work, just the normal 9 to 5, leave to Momangba, annual leave, Momangba Kele Kele. There was a time I went to Lambeth College. They were offering 2-hour sessions for 10 weeks. Yes, it was paid, but it wasn't much. I used to go there, and I go back to work in the afternoon. That was part of my annual leave. There were times I would go to a business show. That one was free. I would go there to open my eyes, to seek opportunities. And there were times, because I'm a creative person, I document my thoughts, especially the positive ones. This is what I use on paper. I document them, and from time to time, I update those thoughts. And then whenever there's time and space, I articulate them and maybe I try and monetize them. So what I was doing, it was a strategic decision. I was preparing for my desired skill, whatever I wanted to do. So at the end of the day, if I become manager or whatever, key problem one, it's 3 o'clock, Mama pay, 4 man Mama pay. And what's the difference? Maybe they pay me a little bit of change extra, but they buy away my life. So I don't.
From all what you've said, men is good to actually explore the opportunities you have and go for personal development. Personal development, and so competing with your friend or your peers, is you actually developing and looking into what you actually like, what your the gift which you have from Wonti, and so which a lot of time kì í sábà rí ọkùnrin tó máa ń sábà ṣe. Tẹ́ bá lọ sí àwọn personal development talks and seminars, most of the time are women. So men are busy going to work, the 9 to 5 work. Maybe they are top managers or they are chasing this or they are chasing that. So from what you've said now, it's important for every single person to develop themselves. The big part which you would have loved to go into in terms of development and counseling over marriage, but because we don't have time for that today, so probably it's going to be in the next episode. Because sorry, my family put table in the end. A lot of time, marriage can work. And so many times, some people would say, oh, it's the man's fault or it's the woman's fault. Counseling ni community wa taba fe marry. Gbogbo counseling ta ma ngbo bóyá ìyá wa tí yan bá lé lọ́kì tó bá ní ìyá a máa bá obìnrin sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ǹkankan. I don't know much about the men's side, but most of the time it's all about the women counseling the women. Even in a mosque, àwọn yàrá salatu, àwọn obìnrin náà máa ń sábà bá sọ̀rọ̀ jù, and the men are They are neglected somehow, I would say that. Because most of our current is always sister circle. What about the brother circle? It has to be a two-way thing. That's how it's meant to be. So, and counseling no okay counseling 2-3 hours. So jẹ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ibi tí rice ń lọ là ń wò àbí àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tó ń kí wa, so we lose concentration on that day. So kí n lọ counseling yẹn, and many people a máa ṣe fídíò 3 hours kí n wo fídíò yẹn lẹ́yìn ìjọ kejì láti rántí nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ fún wa ní tá bá ń fẹ́ gbéyàwó, and which is that eléyìí tí sister Tóyìn owó kò ní ràn. Assalamu alaikum ma. Yeah, well said, my sister. So, kí n sábà ní ọkùnrin especially focus always obìnrin ló ń tolé o, obìnrin ló ń múlé dúró, obìnrin ló ń ṣe gbá o, obìnrin ló ń ṣàwo. Tí obìnrin yẹn bá ń try láti múlé yẹn dúró, tí ọkùnrin yẹn ò bá jẹ́ kó work or bí nǹkan kan bí ó ń fà. So it's the aspect of counseling for men to bring up. It's a shame we don't have time. It's going to be another episode because it's something that's actually needed. Eric, most of our current, even bring by me, in our parents, it does repeat itself. So these things on Jackie, a lot of homes are breaking. A lot of children are suffering this. So there's a lot happening. Àti àwọn tó ti dàgbà ni o, àti àwọn tí ó wà ní midlife wọn ni o, àtàwọn tó jẹ́ ọmọ kékeré ni o. Things are happening, and the reason àwọn èèyàn gan tá bá ní ká fi ẹ̀sìn, àwọn èèyàn gan ò tiẹ̀ tún kí wọ́n lọ sí ọ̀nà ẹ̀sìn yẹn mọ́, a sì gbàgbé Ọlọ́run when it comes to ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbéyàwó, because tí reality yẹn bá hit wa, tí test Ọlọ́run yẹn bá dé, many times a máa ń gbàgbé pé okay o ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run lélẹ́yìí, but ó ní nǹkan tí àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọkùnrin àti gẹ́gẹ́ bí obìnrin. So I need time láti go into that now, but briefly, just jẹ́ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ máa answer me briefly. Is it counseling when it comes to marriage? Because this is something that we don't do in our community. Is it just before marriage, or is something that is meant to be continuous all through the marriage?
I will answer it with a simple example. I actually studied engineering. There's the design, there's maintenance, there's repairs. So I think you could use that analogy for marriage. At the end of the day, before you get married, you plan the marriage, check out compatibility issues, etc. It's not just that, okay, baby, you're fine. That's not enough. You have to look at a more long-term perspective. You have to have an aligned vision. What is it that you want, etc. Then two, maintenance. You have to maintain it. Sometimes, you have to speak to your spouse very well. Sometimes you have to pray together, etc. The children you brace up, it's a joint business, quote and unquote. And then sometimes you have to repair. As Eleanor will get into our way sometimes. So sometimes there will be glitches and all that. So you have to repair. So it's not, and marriage and life and all that is a continuous process. The fact that you have been married for 200 years, you're making a jar. So, but Beshin Jay, the Mama Tushi.
tó Ọlọ́run bá mi dúpẹ́ fún yín nítorí àní àsìkò topic tí a máa ṣe ni because oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà ló wà. Some party will say tí marriage bá break up eventually the man feel cheated, and some parts will say àwọn obìnrin wà cheated. So especially ní ìlú tá wà nítorí pé àwọn àǹfààní tóbìnrin àtọlá tóbìnrin máa ń jẹ when it comes to marriage, but it's another topic, a big topic for another day. Ìdí tá a dẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni pé we want things to work for everyone. We want everybody to be happy. Tínú èèyàn bá dùn, in fact, tí ọkàn èèyàn bá balẹ̀, bí èèyàn ṣe máa sin Ọlọ́run gan, ó máa yàtọ̀. And nítorí pé Ọlọ́run lòun máa dán wa wò bóun ṣe dán àwọn ẹni ìṣáájú wò, àwọn nǹkan kan máa wá tó jẹ́ wípé tí ìjì yìí bá wá, èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ dúró ṣinṣin gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọkùnrin, gẹ́gẹ́ bí obìnrin. And ìgbàgbọ́ àti ìmọ́nì nìkan ò tó, ó ní nǹkan tí àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe láti lè jẹ́ kí àwọn kìíní yìí kó ṣiṣẹ́, kọ́lọ́n kó gbà ní ìbádà fún wa. Ìbéèrè tí mo ní ìbéèrè méjì, àwọn quick answers ni, ó lè wà tricky. Question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ni pé láàárín ọkùnrin sí obìnrin nísìnyí, kí ni nǹkan tọkùnrin fẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ obìnrin gangan ní relationship? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, please, brother Sadiq Olasoji, please, let's talk about husband abuse too. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, nítorí pé a lọ into marriage, husband abuse náà wà láwọn obìnrin tó ń abuse ọkùnrin. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, a ní domestic abuse, alóbìnrin tó ń lu ọkọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, alóbìnrin tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ sọ́kọ, alóbìnrin tó jẹ́ pé money wise náà ni ó ń abuse ọkọ ẹ̀. So there's a lot of things tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ wà one sided kí èèyàn dẹ̀ rántí pé ẹni tó bá bímọ, tó bá èèyàn bá ṣe pẹ̀lú ọkọ ẹ̀, tó bá bímọ ọkùnrin, it's going to be the same. So tí nǹkan tí èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ gbàdúrà pé èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ wà fair bí o bá ṣe ń ṣe pẹ̀lú ọkùnrin ló máa ṣe pẹ̀lú obìnrin, wá ṣe pẹ̀lú ọkọ ẹ̀ ló máa ṣe pẹ̀lú ìyàwó, pẹ̀lú ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run, torí what goes round actually does come round. But because we need time and kò ń ṣe nǹkan tá a lè dálẹ̀ ńsìn, there's a lot of ways to this particular when it comes to men and women lórí marriage. Ọ̀rọ̀ tá máa sọ lọ́sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ni kí ó dẹ̀ lè dá ní kọ́lọ̀ ọ̀la jùlọ kí ó gbà fún wa. Wa antum jazakallahu khairan sir. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ bọ̀rẹ̀ Sadiq. So question mi ni wípé what does a man actually want from a woman? Is it sexual intercourse? Is it food? Is it talent or potentials? Or is it for me as a man?
In my opinion, first and foremost is enjoined that I think it's encouraged in Islam to get married. One is each of you have sexual urges as well, and it's better in a good environment you can come along, that will destroy society. So sexual intercourse one there, companionship one there. Sometimes talking about you want to come home to a peaceful home and feel at peace with yourself. Children know one there. There is a variety of reasons. Children one there. Spiritual companionship know one there. Because this lifetime, is very temporary. You want to go to Ajana with your partner and then continue enjoying your life there. And sometimes you even want support from each other. Sometimes, even me, I'm self-employed. I have my own ideas, etc. If you have a family, a wife, she might not necessarily be as educated or as specialized, but only a new customer chipping in terms of ideas, etc. Sometimes I can really lose job here and come on a job. Sometimes only job in room and a job here. I know I'm not supposed to force the money from her, but if she's an understanding woman, need that to be koto so for me pay Mr. Brother Lagbaja, I because support me somehow. Because I didn't think she came on show or anything, but so you manage all those situations. And like they say, collectively you are stronger, but individually you are not as strong. So there are different benefits you can derive from coming together. But if, however, it doesn't work after you've tried everything, then it might be better for each other to part their ways in good manner. Good manner. Because take advantage of our own, but no, good separation. I think that's what Islam suggests, inshallah.
Okay, so go see specifically to that way if a woman has, that is what a man actually wants. Some people will say on jemeji, which is sexual intercourse and food. So
in my opinion, it's a multitude of things.
Multiple
both ways, either from Okuri or from Obìnrin. Because at the end of the day, Obìnrin is not just it's not a sex slave. It's a mutual thing. You both derive benefits from it. But there's a multitude of things to Obìnrin offer. So, and I know you cannot get your 100% from any woman. So also can the woman not get 100% from you.
From a man.
So if Allah provides 70 or 80%, Alhamdulillah. But it's a two-way thing, not a one-way thing.
So, in terms of ego, Okuri, does men find it difficult to actually take directives from the wife? Is it something that is very difficult? Is it a man thing? Does men feel ashamed of that? Advice, Okuri. Men feel that she's commanding me. Is it?
What I would say, I'll answer it in two ways. First and foremost, I've had quite a few my managers at work. A few of them will be renewal. There were even some who are younger than me, but they give me instructions. But what I would say, like I said in the presentation, you can say the same thing and pass the same message in a very polite and very understanding way. If you do it in a polite and understanding way, even if I don't accept it immediately, I will sleep over it. I will think over it. If I have questions, I will come back and ask you. But if you are going to be the type of person to boss me around or to show maybe to my body, my social service, those type of threats, that is the above. But if the way and manner you convey your message, even the ego, sometimes men don't necessarily want to. Yes, we are born as leaders, etc. So there's a bit of ego. But sometimes common sense should prevail. But if you don't convey that common sense in a very good way, if you say it in a very rude way or something like that, maybe I've worked out okay. You won't even consume that what you are saying. But if you say it in a polite way at the right time, at the right place, vice versa, you don't say because you're a husband, you just talk to your wife anyhow. You have to talk to her politely as well. You have to respect her. You have to respect her dignity, etc. So it's a two-way thing. So I know
Lastly, my question is, do you think women are selfish when it comes to men? Women in general, at home, in the society, do you think when it comes to men, women are selfish generally?
Okay, I think, for example, if you ask me the question, are Nigerians bad or are the UK people good or something like that? Whatever society you have, whatever people you have, most times you have the good, you have the bad, and you have the ugly. You can categorize them to that. You have some women, totally you will not want to miss them. Well, in my final, but character, the way they carry themselves, the way they speak, their politeness, and all those things, it will blow you away. So at the end of the day, even when you go to a party or wherever, Toban suffer, okay, Okomi, I think you should. Not that, Baba, Tolu, or the mess up there, oh, Lopolo glory is the Abo thing. So at the end of the day, it's good, bad, or ugly. So we have some who are good with good character, etc. And I think Islamically, they recommend you to choose somebody who has good character, who has knowledge, etc. It's not all about physical beauty. Physical beauty can fade anytime. Anytime. It can be sickness, it can be old age, etc. So I don't know if I've answered your question. So I think it's give and take.
It's a give and take. Okay, thank you. Even though you did not answer my question bluntly, but I'll take that for an answer. Thank you so much. So you did not tell me if women are actually selfish or can be selfish when it comes to men.
What I'm trying to say is that some women can be selfish, some
some women
would not. So and it's vice versa. Some men will have their women at home and have extramarital activities as well. So it depends on the woman. You know, we're not all equally the same. Some have good character, some have not so good character. So you cannot box it into all women.
Thank you. May Allah in His infinite mercy reward you abundantly. Inshallah, we shall continue the episode on men and the city because there's still a lot to say, but we do not have time. But I would have like 3 minutes to read our story. If you would like to, please let's listen to this story from the book. I'm not sure if our guest speaker really have to run. You can excuse yourself now. Otherwise, please sit back and relax and enjoy the story. Story. Once upon a time. Time. We shall continue reading our stories from our book 101 Quran Stories and Dua from the author Saniya's name Khan. The title of today's story is Prophet Ayub alayhi salam. Remember Ayub when he called on his Lord. Surah Al-Anbiya, Quran 21, verse 83. A long time ago in the land of Syria, there lived a prophet whose name was Ayub alayhi salam, or Job. Okay, so 1 second. So let me solo this out. Yes, right. Okay, so he loved Allah very much. Allah made him wise and rich. The prophet Ayub had many wives. He had many sheep. His house was very big. There were many servants in his house, and his children were very good. The prophet Ayub prayed to Allah, thanking him for his gift. The village people said, it's easy for Ayub alayhi salam to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Ayub were poor like us, he would never love Allah so much. He would not pray all the time. Allah wanted to show people that they were wrong. So Allah put Ayub alayhi salam to the test. One day, the Prophet Ayub's sheep got lost. The next day, all the water in the fields and gardens dried up. The Prophet Ayub became poor. His all family members died except his wife. Ayub cried unto his Lord. He said, so he cried out to his Lord, saying, I am overcome, so help me. Surah Al-Qamar, Quran 54, verse 10. The next story, the blessings restored. We restored to him his family, doubling their numbers as an act of our grace. Surah Al-Anbiya, Quran 21, verse 84. Despite all misfortune, the Prophet Ayub did not complain. He did not stop praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knew Allah would help him. He prayed, I am overcome by distress, but you are the most merciful, of all those that are merciful. Allah liked the Prophet Ayyub's patience. Allah cured his illness. The Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam became well again. Allah again gave him a big house. He gave him fields and sheep. Allah also gave him many children. He made him even richer than before. Because the Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam had showed great patience throughout the worst of disasters, Allah not only rewarded him with great bounty in the hereafter, he redoubled his former prosperity in this world. An extra from the Quran. Remember Ayyub alayhi salam when he called on his Lord saying, I have been made to suffer great distress, but you are the most merciful of the merciful. We heard his prayer and relieved his suffering. We restored to him his family, doubling their numbers as an act of our grace and as a reminder for the worshippers. Surah Al-Anbiya, Quran 21, verse 83 to 84. Today's story about the test. Allah can test anyone. Allah truly knows our heart. Allah knows you. Allah knows me very well. What the intentions in our hearts, Allah knows even before we think about them. He created us, so he knows us very well. Allah wanted to prove to the unbelievers that his Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam truly loved him. He tested him. He proved the people wrong. When Allah gives us a test and we pass the test, he doubles our blessing. He doubles everything that we might have lost. You know, when there is a wind that blows things away, when the grace of Allah comes, everything comes back to us in double. He is a merciful God. Let's continue to serve and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I love what I do. To come on this program, give us reminders, call on guest speakers to educate us, to enlighten us out of love for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so we can be better people. So this world can be a good place for us, and hereafter can be a better place for us, inshallah. You have a potential as well. Allah bless you with a potential. Use it the way that will benefit people. That will be sadaqah jariyah for you and your family. Wherever Allah has blessed you with, anything at all is useful to the next person to you. Make sure you trust and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Renew your love, renew your faith with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do good to others and remind other people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the Most High. He can do anything that we cannot do. He would do everything. He created us. He gave us the glory. He gave us the grace to be alive at this point. It is never too late to repent and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Use your time in this world wisely. Time waits for no one. Who knows who's going to be the next to die? As we will all, or we shall all taste death. It is something everyone would have to go through, even the plants. Let's prepare for that time. Let's try. The time is now. Do not delay to the next minute, because you don't know when your time will be up. May Allah in His infinite mercy continue to guide us aright. Accept the little we've done today. May Allah in His infinite mercy reward our guest speaker. May Allah reward our sponsors, our dear brother Sharif. Brother Sharif, may Allah in His infinite mercy reward you abundantly. May Allah accept all you do as sadaqah jariyah from you. And may Allah in His infinite mercy reward you abundantly. And all of you that have been supporting us at Sunnah and Self-Esteem. Also with our Poverty Elevation Program Esteem Feed, our Quran competition, and all the things we ask your donation for. We are thankful. We ask Allah in His infinite mercy to reward you abundantly. Sometimes I get really busy, but I try out of my little time I have. I pride what I do coming onto this program, giving it the best I can. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from me as ibadah and reward me and my family abundantly. Ameen. This is to encourage every one of us that whatever you know how to do, whatever you like doing, whatever you have the ability to do it to benefit others. And Allah will reward you for that. Someone will smile from what you've done, from what you said. Someone will benefit from it. And it is a blessing for you, and it will be a blessing for them, and your generation, the generation of your grandkids. You don't know when the time will be. So use the time now and don't leave it to tomorrow. Ayeola, kò yẹ nìkan, orúkọ bàbá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Àdẹ̀mọ̀gbà tí a máa fi ayé lẹ̀ lọ. Kọ́lọ́run kó gba àwọn bá tí à ń ṣe Kọ́lọ́run gba àwọn bá tí à ń ṣe lórí ètò àti ní gbogbo ìgbà. Please do remember to share this video with your friends and family. I hope you've learned one or two things from this video. Let other people enjoy and share too. This program is on YouTube, is on Instagram, and on Facebook. In case you would like to watch it again, sit down, take your time, get your pen and paper, jot some notes down, look at your challenges, look at your strengths, try and see how you can find solution and balance. We shall meet again next week, inshallah. I'll always remain your friend, your sister, Nafeesa Ayeola Odofi. We'll meet again next week, inshallah. Thank you to our guest speaker once again, and thank you to all of you, Sister Sidiko Odufuwa. Thank you so much, and everybody, Brother Ade Smith, thank you for joining us. May Allah in His infinite mercy reward every one of you abundantly. We shall meet again next week. By Allah's grace, I am Nafeesa Ayeola Odofi. Iwájú lèmi ò máa lọ, iwájú lẹ́yìn ò máa lọ, iwájú ni gbogbo àwọn máa lọ. Pátápátá láyọ̀ lóyìn ní àpàdé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run. Ìlàlẹ̀ àmàmí, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, ilali amami, inshallah. Àwa tá ń tẹ̀lé tí òjíṣẹ́ ńlá. Iwájú làwa ò máa lọ, a ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o. Sunnah and self-esteem àrà ọ̀tọ̀. Ètò ìrora ẹni lágbára, ìgbéra ní ìtiwà lórí afẹ́fẹ́ báyìí o. Lórí iléeṣẹ́ wa Naija 101.1 FM. Láti aago 6 títí di aago 8 àṣálẹ́. Láti ṣolùgbọ̀wọ́ ètò yìí, ẹ kàn sí wa lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wa 077-690-51172 077-690-51172. Sunnah and Self-Esteem is a self-empowerment and development program. Fridays on Naija 101.1 FM. For sponsorship, please contact us on 077-690-51172. 077-690-51172. You can send us an email, ss.esteem@gmail.com. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram and YouTube at Sunnah and Self-Esteem. Ilali amami, inshallah. Ilali amami, inshallah. Àwa tá ń tẹ̀lé tí òjíṣẹ́ ńlá. Iwájú làwa ò máa lọ, a ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o. Iwájú lèmi ò máa lọ, ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o. Iwájú lẹ́yìn ò máa lọ, ò máa ní ìrẹ̀yìn o.